So let's go ahead and start filling in the blanks here. You remember that my organization name is called Cloudspace Demo. So I'm going to go and fill in Cloudspace Demo where it says org name. Obviously, you'll want to fill this in with whatever org name you provided. This was the short name that you gave Opscode when you did the setup. The validation key path needs to point to the validator key file that we put in the chef path earlier. Just to make this a little easier to work with, I'm going to put an absolute path into this file. That way, no matter where this Vagrant file is, it will always work. So this key is the one that Opscode uses to make sure that nodes are allowed access to the cookbooks for your organization. It's different from your personal key that Opscode uses to identify you as an individual. The other thing you're going to need to add is a validation client name. It's going to be Cloudspace Demo-Validator. For me, following the same pattern of org name-validator used in the key name. So at this point, Vagrant has all of the information that it needs to access the Opscode platform. The next thing we need to do is tell Vagrant which cookbooks we want to run on this instance. Since we're going for a Rails environment here, we're going to set up apt, since this is a Linux system, and then just copy and paste that and fill out space for a few more recipes. So we're also going to want git server, git default, Ruby default, Apache 2, passenger Apache, MySQL server, MySQL default, MySQL client, RUnit, OpenSSL, packages, Rails, packages, and finally Ruby. Save this file and go back to your terminal. The next thing we need to do is go back into the .chef directory, and we're going to upload the cookbooks that we need to the organization on the Opscode platform. We've got to upload these cookbooks because this is a new organization. You're not going to have to do this the next time you launch a Vagrant instance with Chef, or the next time you use any of these cookbooks. We're going to use the knife command that I mentioned earlier. If you want to save some time and don't mind a slightly longer wait, you can run knife cookbook upload -a. And what that'll do is it'll take all of the cookbooks in this cookbooks directory and upload them. This will take a while because Knife has to validate each one and upload it, and it's kind of a slow process. For now, I'm just going to upload all of the ones that I used in the Vagrant config. Knife is going to validate this cookbook and push it up to the Opscode platform for my organization. So, for both of our sakes, I'm going to use the magic of video editing to skip the rest of the uploading and get right to it. So, the cookbooks have all been finished uploading, and now that we've finally taken care of all this preparation, let's do what we came here for and launch a Vagrant instance. Go ahead and switch into the Vagrant test directory, the one that we made earlier with the Vagrant file, and then run Vagrant up. So what this is going to do is it's going to boot up an instance of that Lucid32 image that we've already downloaded. Then it's going to use Vagrant's built-in chef support to download and run these cookbooks. Since running some of these cookbooks can take a long time since it has to download and build packages and things like that, it'll probably run you around 10 minutes. So here's another opportunity to use some of that video magic to speed things along. Sweet. All right. So Chef finally finished, and the instance is now up and running. To get into it, run the command Vagrant SSH. There you go. You're in the instance. So remember that we told Chef to install Apache? If that worked, we should have Apache installed. It should be running already. If that's true, we should be able to pull it up in our browser. Moment of truth here, people. Sweet. It works. So let's go back into the instance and edit the default Apache page, just so we know that this is the instance we launched and it's not something else running on our local network. So, whoops. All right, so go ahead and clear this file out and add your own witty message. All right, there you go. So you can also do other things, like let's log into the MySQL server that we've got running on this instance. So since we didn't specify a MySQL root password in our Chef setup, they've picked a random one for us. To find this password, go and cat the file etc mysql grants.sql. Oops. Oops. All right, there we go. And we're in. So at this point, you've basically got everything you need. You can just go ahead and set up Capistrano EXT, the multi-stage gem, so that you can use this virtual machine as a staging server and deploy it just the same you would when you go into production. Now, once you're done, you can use the Vagrant command to look at some of the other things you can do with the box. You can destroy it or you can halt it. Halt is basically just going to shut the server down but keep it around. Destroy is actually going to destroy it from Vagrant completely, and you're going to need to go through the whole downloading recipes and rebuilding process, but it's still all automated, so it's not a big deal. So I'm going to go ahead and just halt the box, and that's fine for now. And there we go. The box is shut down. You can use Vagrant status to check the status of the Vagrant instances that you've got specified by that file. And you can see in the web browser that it's no longer responding to requests because the server is gone. So that's about all you need to know to get started with Vagrant and the Opscode platform. Happy hacking!